Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. I'm Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
Oh, yeah.
Across from me, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, hey.
And to my left, Morgan McMurray.
Hello.
We are the Rag Company Podcast. Welcome aboard. If you haven't been here before, I hope you enjoy it. So let's start things out with how our weekends went. How did they go, gentlemen?
Who's
They
going
go when
first?
they came, Dane.
They go when they came. They were fast. It was raining,
Okay.
too.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bit of a
Yes.
break in the weather, which was nice, because there was, a little bit
Go
of
hard and
sunshine.
they come fast.
Anyway.
Can't wait for this guy.
So I'll go first. So I bought Carly a bike this week, so that was good.
Did you?
So Thursday night, I got her a bike. We spent the week shopping for bikes and looking at bikes and letting her ride
Where'd
bikes.
you end up going to?
Well, no, that's what we did last weekend. I actually got it off of Facebook Marketplace.
Score.
So I was a licensed bike mechanic, I guess you could say, for the last 10 years. Me and Natron here are graphic
So you're not just obsessed with bikes. You actually had a reason to be.
I can actually do things with a bike. So, so like a used car, being a car mechanic, or a detailer, you can kind of see through the flaws. You can kind of see through certain things and go like, "Oh, it's got good bones." Like
Some investigative work as well as what may have happened.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I was able to go through a lot of. We went and rode some new bikes. Looked at buying a new bike. Then kind of thought like, how best should we spend the money?
For anybody that are curious about the brands that you're looking into, what brands were you looking into?
Mostly Specialized at the time.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
Very nice.
But the bike we settled on was a Fuji,
Fuji.
and we found a gal that had a women's 52 centimeter road bike, and it's got a funny name. I don't remember it. Something A1 something. Anyway,
Okay.
Steak sauce.
A1 steak sauce. That's what it's called. And then it basically it's $200.
That's cheap.
The bike when it was 7 years old, had less than about 200 miles on it. She said she used to ride it to class and back. She'd always had the computer on it, so the mileage on it was from the day she bought it to when we got it.
Okay, that blows my mind.
Most
Bikes
people don't
with
do that.
computers.
Yeah.
I'm so low tech when it comes to that. I don't even consider miles being put onto a frame. I just
Well, no,
figure
it's a
replace the wheels
speedometer.
and the tires. And
Yeah, it's a speedometer. So like
Okay.
but you heavy cyclists will put miles on a bicycle.
See, this is new information to me, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you think about like Ironman,
Yeah.
like those are
No, it makes sense with an
those are
expensive
hundreds
bike
of
or
miles,
something. I mean,
or 50 miles on a bike or
yeah, with
whatever.
like Cannondales or something.
But they're going on those bikes, and then they're actually doing training rides.
Yeah.
And it's not unheard of people doing 50 miles a weekend, every weekend on a road bike.
Yeah.
So they're on it and they're riding it. So to find a road bike with very low miles means a lot. And then the Grupo set that was on it, which means the derailleurs, the brakes, all the shifters, all that stuff was an upgraded medium grade. It's Sora, Shimano Sora set, which is a entry level, but it's like fourth from the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like fourth place kind of level. So really great Grupo set for that bike, which means that everything works really well. 7 years later, it stays, So it was a good bike because we bought it. I detailed it Friday night, got it all ready for her, got it all tuned it up. I need to get new brakes, so I had to buy new brake pads. Those arrive tomorrow.
Wow.
So it'll stop the squeaking because they're pretty dry because, again, the gal hadn't ridden it. So that was cool. So Carly got to take her bike out on Saturday for a ride with one of her girlfriends, who is the reason she wanted to get a bike, was to start riding. And for those of you that know, I have about 9 bikes in my custody at the moment.
Yeah.
Just like cars.
Interesting
I like to
choice
collect
of
bicycles.
words, but all right.
He actually has a bike shop attached to his garage.
Basically. Yeah.
He has them chained in his basement.
Yeah. So, and going back, if you guys didn't see on the live, I do have 2 tandem bikes. So I have the capacity for, a good party of people to take some bikes out on the Greenbelt.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to describe it.
Well, and we want nothing more than to see a tandem of G. Davis and Dane
that'd be
riding down the
amazing.
Boise Greenbelt and stopping at their favorite restaurant, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Well, what they'd probably do is go to
That'd be a
Cracker
very
Barrel.
short trip.
It would be a drive to Cracker Barrel, and then you could actually ride. It's only 7 miles to my house from Cracker Barrel. I have ridden that. It's not a bad ride.
There'd be a call for domestic disturbance in the Cracker Barrel parking lot.
Anthony and I could bring a tandem to you guys, and then you could ride.
I would absolutely do
back
that. I would do
on
that
it.
all day long.
That'd be great.
All day.
But
Anthony
anyway,
long.
so we did that. Friday night, I went and bought my kids a very nice gift.
What did you buy them?
I know you.
The kind of gift only a true father can give his children.
Yeah.
Truckload of dirt.
Wow. Wow.
Here you go, kids.
Yep.
Dirt.
Yep. I literally shoveled a pile of dirt into my backyard into a little section. So instead of making a sandbox, we built a dirt pile
Yeah.
so that they could just play in a dirt pile.
Well, it was the video you sent us.
Yeah.
In
so
a text.
I took the little
that little truck.
to go get one load of topsoil, one truckload. And I was like, and it turns out it's 1 yard.
Yeah.
And it was just one scoop in the bucket of the front loader into the bed of the
loading
truck.
it diagonally, though.
Because he couldn't, because the bed was so short, you couldn't go. It was the bed, the box was wider than the bed, and he couldn't turn it.
No matter what he did, it was
so he was
going to
like,
fall off the side.
yeah, I got to diagonal it and shoot it in there. 1,700 pounds of dirt
Yeah, the truck
in the
showed
back
it.
of my truck, and yes, it did squat, and I'm glad I didn't have new shocks on it
Ooh.
Yeah.
because I probably would have blown them. But it was
Pre-blown.
But it was a great workout, hustling a truckload of dirt from the side yard to the backyard this weekend.
Fun.
Worked on that. However, the rain this weekend
That
kind of dampened the amount of fun they could have.
Yeah.
They still got in the mud.
or
And
did it though? Kids love mud.
Let's
so.
just say Sunday I was mopping my floors because they went out there and played, and then I had to spray off my patio while it was raining because there was so much friggin' mud
Wow.
all over the back. I was like,
Yeah.
that was insane.
You
Like
timed
would
it
have,
just right.
Anthony, you would have died. Like
Yeah.
you would have been like, this is a bad idea. Why did we do this? This is
Golden
not good."
retrievers is covered in mud, running around everywhere.
No, Watson had mud all over it. Like I was just, the cat had mud.
Oh.
Like they all went over there to play in the pile. Like I don't understand it.
Well,
but
good luck stopping the cat. Those prints get on everything.
yeah, it was great. So, but we did have to teach the kids not to throw mud at the house.
You had to teach. Well, that was a teachable moment.
Yeah,
then.
it was, it's part of it. And to not put mud like pies on the furniture, the outdoor furniture.
Okay.
So that was another fun thing that I
Yeah.
found out.
No.
But you forget, you give them a dirt pie, they're like going to play, but it's raining and turned to mud, and then they just
Sure.
start. You walk
Yeah.
out there, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this
Yep.
is not what I wanted. So hopefully it'll dry out. Everything will be good. They'll have a good time. We had a good weekend. It went by quick. Got a new fridge delivered, which was
Ooh.
nice. So
What brand did you go with?
it's a Frigidaire.
Wow. Very nice. Wow.
And
it's the
one
same
of the
brand as Dane's
Christmas
dishwasher,
tree?
right?
Oh. I have a
Now
Whirlpool.
I'm trying to remember what I have. No, I think I
Did
got
you
a.
go to Bosch?
I got a GE.
Go to
Ooh,
GE.
nice. Yeah.
Wow. Now getting into
So I
appliance
got
talk.
so I got a Frigidaire.
Yeah.
So now the MOS HQ has integrated ice dispensing
Wow. Wow.
as well
Very
as
nice.
water,
Wow,
filtered
fantastic. In
cold
the,
water.
In the garage?
No, in the house.
Oh, okay.
I
So
have
you-
that actually in my house.
Wow.
You can go into my kitchen at any time,
You get some filtered water.
get some filtered water from the front of the refrigerator,
Yeah.
as well as
Get this guy a monocle and top hat.
Not
and
only-
save some for the rest of
not
us.
only cubed but crushed ice as well.
That is the luxury. That a lot
That
of
is a
people-
luxury I have never
Yeah.
had in my
A
house.
lot of people don't appreciate that nowadays.
Now available at the Gates Homestead.
The fine
So I
thing.
can
Attached
stop
to the
in
other.
if I want to grab some water from you. Just
Exactly.
stop in and grab
Yep.
a cup.
I'd be welcoming you, and I'd be like, Anthony, come enjoy this new contraption that I have that provides crushed or cubed. Your choice. Your choice.
Wow.
And the ice is filtered.
Well, I'd like to be able to take that to go if possible as
you
well.
possibly could
Well,
if I have some plastic cups.
Levi
is
is never without to-go cups. So
Yeah. So that would be really nice. I think I will stop by there.
I
and have
could
a nice
offer not only water but also
glass
ice
of water.
for a carbonated beverage
Wow.
of your choice as well.
True.
I keep
a
a
Pepsi.
stock of Diet Pepsi
Wow.
and Diet Mountain Dew.
Wow. Either or.
Noted.
Either or.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So really great. Coming up tops this weekend.
yeah.
So dirt pile for the kids, new bike for the wife,
Yeah.
new fridge with water and ice dispensers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty
truly
pretty insane.
impressive weekend. I don't know if you guys can top that, but
Yeah.
Man, a lot going on.
Dane,
Well, I kept it short and sweet. I actually told myself on Saturday
You weren't gonna
I'm
work?
not going to work. And Liz was happy. She was like, "Yeah, just spend a day at home relaxing."
it's like, I
Like,
can't wait
you're
to spend
always,
time with you.
You're always
It's
going
gonna
to.
be
It's
great.
like so we had some sit in, just watch some shows, and movies, hang out, go for a walk. Basic stuff, just nice. Saturday relaxing
Yeah.
activities. And then Sunday came
An hour
around
and a
I
half
came to
later,
work.
you came to work. Oh.
And on Sunday I came in here. And I was just trying to get as much of the One Wing Challenge video done as possible because I know people are chomping at the bit to
Yeah.
see that thing. And they haven't seen any of it yet, but I'm really excited for them to see it because I put a little bit of work into this beginning, and Tim is working very hard on the competition part. So it's
Really
been a
excited
thing.
to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the competition between Dane, Jimmy, and Tim as well.
Who can edit the best video?
Exactly. It's going to be impressive. Dane's on.
Well, it's not
Dane's-
very fair because I had a shorter segment to edit, so I was able to kind of go ham on it. And you guys have seen what I did with it. It's going to be kind of cool.
I think it's going to be fun. I think you guys are going to like it.
Tim's got the most work cut out for him, man. Yeah, I don't envy that. 2.5 hours of like solid stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, it could have
gonna
been
be
you doing it, and he could have done the intro.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm responsible in my delegating.
You could help him.
Tim's the quickest editor here. If I were to go in there, it would immediately slow him down. It would make things worse, not better.
Yeah, true.
I am extremely
Tim,
detailed.
nod if this is correct.
Tim is on the other
I
side.
can hear it. I can hear it. But basically, like, there's those detailers, right? You're all about efficiency, getting it quick.
Oh,
you
yeah,
and,
I'm
you and
fast.
Ivan are like,
Yeah.
hammer it out. You're like,
I'm gonna get
you're
it
like
done.
Tim when it comes to detailing. You're like, I'm gonna get this thing. It's gonna look good.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna
And then I'm
spend
going to
any
yell
time
at Dane
lollygagging.
going, why aren't you done yet with that car? You need to get it out.
Meanwhile,
You got to make money.
I'm like one of those guys I've seen in some of the groups you see on Facebook
Yeah.
where they're like, it took me 6 hours to clay my car in my driveway.
No,
Is that good?
I believe it.
First
No,
off,
I believe it.
rinseless wash is a
No,
joke.
I believe it was a 10-hour one step, right? That you could do.
and
Yeah,
people
10
were
hour
mad.
one-step.
10-hour
People were
one
mad
step.
when you said
On a
you
new
shouldn't
car.
be spending more than like
45 minutes
45
tops,
minutes
maybe
on it.
20.
And they're like, there's no way you did that. And then you had to explain, it is possible, guys. It really is.
Some people
10 hours
seriously.
on a one-step means you're burning a ton of product on every panel.
Yeah.
on a new car.
On a brand new car. That means you're working a panel for an hour.
I
Per
don't know.
panel,
I don't know
basically.
See,
who
now
we're
when it
talking
comes
about
to,
in this
when-
video, but
without diving too
somebody.
deep into it, when it comes to editing, it's a little more like sculpting or woodworking where you're kind of shaving away stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to
You're-
get
You're
to
waiting for
the picture you're trying to create inside of all this
yeah,
stuff
it's
that
just
you're
a
given, all the
block
raw
of-
material.
It's just a block of wood
So that's how I look at it. I
to
look at
others,
it like,
but you see a
I look at it like
magnificent
sculpting.
angel.
Yeah.
That you're
so I'm like,
carving
there's
out of.
there's an ice sculpture under
You're
all
trying
this.
to release it.
There's a wizard in a stump under all this, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going for when I'm editing.
Smoking
That's where
a
my
pipe.
head's at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do get sucked into
Sit
it
on
to
a
the point
toadstool.
that I spend a lot of time on details that, quite frankly, I show it to somebody and they don't even notice because it's that seamless that it just goes by. And I'm like, I really wish somebody would notice that. But at the same time, it's like
Well,
detailing. Not all
gotta-
your customers are going to notice
Yeah.
certain areas where you really
No, they're going to pick out the one piece of dog hair. That
they'll
you,
find the
that
one
you
spot
left
you missed. Yeah.
and go,
So,
what is this? You did
I-
a horrible. This is a horrible detail.
Gotta do what you gotta do
So
to get the views.
I relate to that.
Right?
And
That's
anybody else in the comments, please tell me about something in your life where, that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
That's your
Oh,
thing.
my new camera comes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Too, so
Oh,
that'll be cool.
fun.
Yeah.
That'll be really good. So
Yeah.
I'm looking
I've
forward to
edited
hearing
some
those.
videos before, and yeah, it's
like
it's
sculpting.
difficult work, but when it all comes together when you have the finished product and you start seeing those views, and you're like, people like it.
And then you make a little
Yep.
money on the ad revenues there.
For the people out there that are doing
You
that,
do it. You do it for
absolutely.
the fun of the game.
Oh,
the thrill of the
Anthony.
game,
Okay.
right?
Um,
Not for the money.
No, I don't make any videos. I just
Oh, if you were to.
if I ever did, yeah, I'd
He's
totally be
in
some.
videos.
Well, it'd
He
be
just
videos
doesn't
of his like
make
dogs
videos.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like around the house, and I'll edit them. I'll
You'd
put
follow
little,
like it'd be like the Adventures of your Roomba.
well,
I bet
have-
he's got a secret
stuff.
channel out there, but it's only like all videos of golden retrievers or something.
Well, yeah, I can see
and
that. Morgan.
It's all of them.
Yeah, what's going on in Morgan's world? That's enough about me.
The highlight of my weekend was buying an entire flat of strawberries for $10.
That's
Ooh,
pretty impressive.
Costco.
No, there's like a
The
fruit
dude
stand.
on the street.
There's
Oh,
a fruit like tent.
I know exactly.
we
what you're talking
talking
about. You're talking about over
Reggie's
off of
Veggies?
Milwaukee.
Reggie's
No,
Veggies.
not that one.
Okay.
It's on Overland and Cloverdale.
Oh man.
Wow.
And yeah, so we went there because I saw there was like an
Different
ad
one.
for it, and like I go through so many strawberries because
You're like
I
a
make
strawberry
smoothies.
fiend. Oh, okay.
Smoothies and like
I thought
Yeah.
maybe you like
oatmeal.
run over them with
It's
your car.
a girl thing. Katie loves strawberries.
She's like, I love to like just
She-
put them under my
Strawberries,
tires and
and
squish
then
them.
semi-sweet chocolate chips. Like if you want
That's
like
lit-
a little.
Yep.
Katie
all
was
Katie is doing.
literally eating that last night. She had a bowl of but then she also threw in a little bit of like granola, and she's like, this tastes like it's a strawberry chocolate cheesecake. I'm like, but it's not though, because
There's no cheesecake.
there's no cheese part in there. I'm like, you should put some yogurt in there, really spice it up. And she's like, I hate yogurt. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh
All
well.
right, so anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the best part. So now I'm just going crazy. We made oatmeal, strawberry like muffins, like little
Wow.
breakfast muffins.
Delicious. You made those?
Me and my roommate did.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So those turned out good. So now I'm excited. If you guys would like any strawberry products,
No.
Put in my order for some of those strawberry muffins.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
mhm.
Yeah.
Always open to that.
Yeah.
You guys are looking at me like it's my turn. I'll take it. We're gonna
Well,
run with
unless
it.
Morgan had anything.
Morgan
left
has
to
anything
add.
else. I mean, you don't want to
No,
gloss
unless we
over it.
want to add going to Cars and Coffee for.
Oh yeah, how'd that
15
go?
minutes.
So like, my dad. He was like, "Hey, Cars and Coffee, we should be going." And I was like, I didn't even know that it was back.
I haven't been in
Those
a
of you
long
that
time.
remember,
There was a massacre.
there was a massacre. You can literally Google Boise Cars and Coffee, and you can see what happened on YouTube.
It was internet
but
famous and not
for the
good.
last year and a half or so. It's been about 18 months, 16, about a year. It's been
Yeah.
over a year. There has not been. They have stopped doing Cars and
Well,
Coffee.
somebody
there has
else
been,
tried to do like,
there's been like some parking
uh,
lot stuff that people have been trying to do to get it back.
but it wasn't
like,
the same people who were running it last.
but like the
time.
legitimate Cars and Coffee nomenclature
yeah.
has not been used.
Mhm.
It was like exotics and breakfast muffins or something. Right?
I don't
That's
think
what
that was
going.
exactly it,
I think
but
that's
I get
what
what
it
you're
was.
saying. Yeah.
But anyway, my dad was like, "Yeah, Cars and Coffee's going," which was weird because it was pouring rain.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
we showed up. There was way more people than I thought, first of all. So there was that. But then at the same time, it was like kind of like sprinkling a bit. And then it started to just pour. And within like 5 minutes, pretty much the parking lot was empty.
Oh.
And we were just like, that was a good 15 minutes.
And was at the Village.
Hell of a show, guys. Hell of a show.
Yeah. And like Brandon washed his car and everything the night before. He was up until like 1 a.m.
Well, he's
like,
got that
Oh.
new
Washing the
wrap
wrap.
job. that
And
he
I
needs
was
to
like,
get-
I'm absolutely not even touching my car. I just took it there with dirt
Oh.
covered.
well,
I
and
was
you're
like,
coated,
You got
so it just washed
Glasgow,
right off.
so-
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got.
I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah,
but
it
I mean,
does.
Okay.
Who needs a car wash when you can just drive around in the rain?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The words of Homer Simpson.
All right, so I guess getting into it, Friday night, pretty chill night. Basically, stayed inside, watched this movie on Netflix called Mowgli.
Oh,
the,
okay.
the Jungle Book,
Yeah.
kind of like
Uh-huh.
spin off. Good movie, actually, for a Netflix created film. It's not bad. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Woke up Saturday, bright and early because I was gonna be detailing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
going to be detailing.
You had a
Woke up.
cancellation.
Well, not so much. Basically, what had happened, I woke up at 7:30, had everything ready to go by 8. I had all my product pulled from the previous night, had all my pads laid out, all my machines ready to go, batteries charged, lights charged.
You had borrowed the Millie from the kit.
Yep, I had
You were gonna
yep.
let her rip.
Had the Millie at home that I was going to, really test on this car because basically it was a guy bringing in his, it's a 2018 4Runner.
Yeah.
TRD. It wasn't a Pro, but it's just one of the TRD off-road ones.
Yeah.
But it was really specced out really nicely, and same color as Katie's, that nice graphite color, and I had everything set out. I had a brand new 20cc vial gloss coat ready
Yeah.
to rock and roll that I picked up on Friday. I had everything lined up. And I said, okay, the guy was planned. I said, hey, from 8 to 9, drop it off. I texted him the night before, around 9. He confirmed, okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning. My brother shows up at 8:15 or so, ready to rock and ready to help me out with the whole coding job. And 8:30 rolls around.
You're still
Don't-
hanging
don't-
out.
don't hear
You're like,
anything.
but we got till 9.
I just shoot him a text and I say, hey, what's going on? And then don't hear anything. 8:45 rocks around. I send him a question mark, and then nothing. 9 o'clock comes, and I'm like, okay, what's going on, right? 9:15, send him another text. Yo, dude, we're ready to rock and roll. What's your ETA? Nothing. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna give him until about 9, a little after 9:30, right? To figure out what's going on, and didn't hit anything back. And I said, all right, Nick, we're gonna turn on the Grand Tour. We're gonna watch that until 10 a.m. If he doesn't show up, or I don't hear anything, I'm gonna cancel his job because it's beginning to sprinkle. Because
That was a
basically,
great episode, by the
I
way.
had a window from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. with no rain.
No.
And I was like, that's perfect. I can wash the car, decon, pull it in the garage, and be ready to rock. Didn't hear anything. Finally, it was like 9:50, and I shot him a text. I said, hey, man, I think we're just going to have to reschedule. I haven't heard anything from you. Sorry about that. And then he texts me immediately. Dude, so sorry, man. My bad. Totally lost track of time, which I'm sitting here like, all right. And he's like, what? When do you want to reschedule? And in my head, I'm like, I've wasted an hour and a half. I don't want to take on this job today now. I'm already too late. I'm already too behind for getting it done today. So I was like, I don't know, dude. We'll have to figure out another weekend. He's like, sorry about that. And I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of like,
But you and I confirmed the timeline.
You want a
and-
reason.
and-
You
and-
want
and
some
I'm
clarity.
kind of like, so what's the reason why you're not here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand because I was frustrated, and I really
You said
wanted-
it correctly.
That's the first time I've ever heard
That was
him
the
say
first time I've
correctly.
ever heard
Wow.
you say frustrated.
Amazing.
Unprompted.
Impressive, everybody. That
Thank
was,
you. Thank you. So I was like, I was like kind of mad, but at the same time kind of relieved because it was raining, and I was like, I can figure out other things. So I told Nicholas, hey, I'm like, hey, sorry, man.
Well, yeah, because you brought
know.
your brother in to help.
Correct.
And so you're
And
not only
it's
it's your time, but his time that you brought in as well.
Yeah, and
So
he ended up taking off. So me and Katie, it was kind of funny because she was like, she had the day off, she had the weekend off. She's like, okay, let's knock out more of this wedding stuff. So we got our wedding website set up. So that's money.
did you guys work on your invitations that you're made?
We sent out.
Start making them?
We sent out our Evite invitations.
Beg your pardon? That's the save the date, correct? Evite,
Not at
save
all.
the date, and then
We
you're
sent
actually
out-
manufacturing.
No, not
you know
at
you
all.
can send them to Costco and they will print them out.
Not going to do that. And so we sent out Evites for $20, which was fantastic because we had, I think it was something like 60 people RSVP in 1 hour, which is pretty crazy.
I don't think I ever got my Evite.
And so yes,
I'm gonna
you
be
did.
honest. I
No,
didn't.
I gave
look
you the
for it.
rag company.
Oh, okay. Then I may not have. We may not have sent that one.
Oh.
So and then everybody here at work. Sorry, guys at work listening here at work. I'll have to give those to you in personal. Maybe I'll write up one.
You should make
But-
one. That would be nice.
So,
Maybe use a paper
so the
cutter
thought
instead
process
upstairs.
behind this, right? Because I agree. Because when Levi said last week, he's like, "You're sending out Evites. You know, it's kind of tacky."
Evites for a
And-
wedding,
and
right?
And let me state.
You're not eloping.
I'm with him on this. I
And now-
know you're more.
now
old
let me-
school,
No,
but-
because hear me out real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
Advents in technology. You've got tons of applications
Mhm.
that you can literally upload a photograph to and do all the design
Correct.
work or have a template. Put in your names and your date. That's it. And you can push print and you can send it to
Correct.
Walgreens, Costco, Albertsons, Fred Meyer's, any of these places, or you can do it online to a place and have a beautifully made cardstock, awesome invitation.
Yeah.
So he's going the physical.
You can
route.
have
Yeah.
all of them made and mailed to your house with envelopes for a very reasonable price. Or you can do like I did 15 years ago and actually hand make every single one of them
Yeah.
to save some money because that was not available.
No, that's extremely nice and extremely thoughtful.
All I'm saying.
Now here's
That is something tangible. Let me put it this way. That is something tangible and something that you as a couple are working on together as a symbol of the life that you are building together. You are choosing to Evite.
buddy, I'm with you on this.
Correct.
Well, some people
That's
like
all
that.
I'm saying. That's all I'm
Others
saying.
don't.
So-
Guys, it's a slow
I'm
burn.
Lazy, but I
So-
wouldn't
It's a slow
really-
burn.
So here's my thought
It also
process behind all
It's
this.
a very nice gesture.
So when it
Plus,
comes,
I want something. I have to print out your Evite to put it on my brand new fridge.
you don't have to print out anything.
You can
for your
make it
fridge.
for your parents, but for everybody else who's going to be there, how many people still have the RSVP for the wedding of
literally-
like 10
I
years
literally
ago?
toss
The thing,
every
I
one
don't.
get.
I don't keep those. I found them in
toss
But
drawers
wouldn't it be
before.
cute
It's
in
kind of
30
eh.
years to find your wedding invitation and be like, oh, look how cute
So
that
now,
is."
now, here,
And
now,
I get
now,
that.
now here's the
I do
trade-off.
get that.
Here's the trade-off.
So you're gonna
So-
make one
So
for yourself.
we got to create and design everything under this Evite, right? Now here's the thing: if we were to create these, right, we're looking at what, about 50 cents a stamp?
Yeah.
Okay, to 100 and something people, right? So 50
said,
cents a
yeah.
stamp there, every envelope, every card. Now the thing is that everybody's not getting the same invite because certain people are getting +1s, certain people are bringing families, right? So
That's what the little card is that you throw in. How many are you RSVPing?
now here's the thing.
Old school.
Now, does that require people to send that RSVP back, which I would not like because I don't want a bunch of letters in my mail? But in today's age, what people are doing is they're sending out cards that you get this card and they say, head to this website to RSVP. Why the hell would I get a card and then say, oh, I have to get online anyways?
Ding,
And then-
ding,
So they get this card and they say, type it in. Oh, now I have to create an account. Okay, now I have to do this. Now I have to do this. We made it easy to where you get this beautiful Evite, you open it up, there it is. You click there. It says, hit us up, join us, click it, bam, your RSVP. You pick how many people you're picking. Pick, are you a family? Are you not a family? We're good to go. And we have
As
you
soon as
all.
I get mine, I'm printing that thing off and I'm hanging it on my fridge.
So
Just to
now,
be a
now the cool part about it
no,
is
not
that-
to be a
is
douche,
that-
because I need to see that.
so
I need to look at it and go like, oh,
Okay.
that's so cute.
the
of them
cool
to
part
get
is
there.
is that these invitations are so beautiful, you can print them out.
What
right?
if it's in black and white and my
And-
printer messes up and it
Well,
looks like garbage?
Well, then I would say
I
get
could-
yourself a
So
color.
on,
I have-
on printer paper is what is going to be.
Do you have a cardstock printer? Most
Well,
people can put cardstock in there and print it on
So
there.
what you're asking me
Either way.
to do is to take that cost
Yes, absolutely.
and put it into creating my own invitation
Yes.
for you.
Because I'm not
I
paying
think
for
you should
that.
Keep in mind that
We're
same
paying
budget
for
when
enough
building your
stuff on this
He's
wedding.
privatizing the
and
gains and socializing
I'm
the
not
losses.
doing this.
Yes.
I
So,
understand.
We've made this.
So
we made
saving
this
the
a lot
money,
easier.
so you saved money.
We saved a lot of money.
What are you doing with that money? Is it going to go
So-
into terms of better food
Yes.
in which I'm going to eat?
Yes, it is
'Kay.
because
am
we
all
found
for
because
that.
we found out that Priya offers a food truck, which we didn't know. Which Priya was me and Katie's first date, and I'd love to have street tacos from Priya because I love Priya street tacos
Yeah.
and have them do that.
Dope.
Get some Coronas and lime, and that's where that extra money can go. Because let's just say,
Because Nate's having corn dogs at his wedding.
yes, we
He's
we
got a
also-
corn dog truck
there's-
coming. I don't
there's
know if you knew
also-
about that.
yes,
Okay.
I'm the one that told him about the corn.
Corn
dog truck.
dogs and cocktails, he said.
So
Oh,
there's
that's
It's a
also
combo.
there's also corn dogs and
Don't know how that's going to go down, but
well,
it'll
yeah,
be
see.
delicious.
people are just throwing up everywhere.
Well, here's a tip: don't eat the stick, then you won't
So-
choke.
Too many
All right.
gin and tonics and corn dogs
God,
don't sound
this is,
delicious,
This is a
but
mistake.
I'm very excited about all the corn dogs and
Um,
Diet Pepsi I will be imbibing.
All right.
So, anyways, we got more wedding stuff knocked out. That was a huge relief of our far back, and it's been awesome because we've had over 100 people RSVP,
Mhm.
and it's just super simple. We already have their notice, and then what's cool is everything through that wedding website. You can jump straight into booking a hotel straight from that same
Right.
website, and you're doing everything. So, being that everybody's doing things online, it makes it easy, and the mobile platform is really nice as well. So if you're on your phone doing it, it's really easy. Now, once we did that, we took a break and went and saw a movie. We saw the new Shazam movie, and it was actually pretty good. It has like a 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. Good movie, extremely long. I'm talking I think it was almost 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
but it
Oof.
feels even
For that?
longer than that because it's like one of those where there's the introduction to the hero, right? All the trials the heroes go through, the bad guy introduction, the trials the bad guy goes through, the introduction of kind of the superpowers, learning to deal with it, denying the superpowers, all the things that you see in a movie. And I'm like, this is pretty freaking long. So
Glad that's not my
Um,
phone going off. That's
No,
Jimmy's
it's
computer.
Tim's computer.
yeah. So ended up watching that. That was a good movie. Came back home. I rocked my side yard to where I got rid of
Nice.
so the sod I put in already died out from last season. Re-rocked that area. Went down, picked up not a yard. I picked up 6
3 bags?
6 gallons, or no, 6 5-gallons, so 30 gallons total
Okay.
is what
Did you
I
put
did.
those in the back of the Civic?
No, I did not. That would have been a nightmare. I put those. Yeah, I put those
In
in
the
the
Evo.
no.
A little stiffer suspension for racing.
He put him on his motorcycle. What
Holds
are you
those
talking
three
about?
15-gallon
The
buckets.
Grom was.
You
really,
could have put them on the Grom. There are probably hundreds of people
Saddlebags.
around the world that
Saddlebags on
use
the
a Grom for that.
and on his shoulders,
Oh.
and one on top of his.
Probably dudes that
Yeah.
they are probably dudes that are literally riding either a scooter or a Grom.
Yeah.
With bags of rock like that.
I
right
would
now,
not
somewhere in the world.
Um,
That's
I
happening.
don't doubt that.
It's a very sad country.
So what'd you use?
For the rock?
Yeah.
It's called Mini Black and Tan is what it is. It's a very nice, very aesthetic looking rock.
Oh, nice.
I ended up getting all 30 gallons of that rock for $14.
Nice.
Wow.
That's even better. It's a
Yeah.
good price.
I was
Alright.
I was sitting there. I'm like, why would I ever go to Lowe's again when I can just go to a rock yard? There's no trade off there. So, ended up doing that later that night. Oh gosh, I don't even know what I did. I think me and Katie went and got some food, and then Sunday, I woke up and I said, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean out the inside of Katie's car. I didn't want to do this, but it needed to be done. So basically, I moved what seemed to be a half of our house inside of her car onto the lawn.
I know exactly what that
Went through the entire, and it just, I was sitting there, and I've talked about this before. I was just trying not to be mad. I was just trying to say, oh, that scratch was probably there when we bought the car new.
You
That's
know it
that's
wasn't.
that's good.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh.
that door scuff from her heel, that will come right out. Oh, it's not coming up. That's okay.
Or like what I found. My wife has been doing a very good job of keeping her car clean.
Yeah.
There's now a smell in the vehicle that I get to find out where it's coming from.
Mystery.
But I also got to find a part of a Cadbury cream egg that has made its way down to where the trunk release and gas door are,
Oh yeah.
have worked their way into the carpet.
Perfect.
I was
good.
imagining
So
the
whenever
Cadbury smell mixed with gasoline. It's
Well, no, it's just the gas door lever.
oh,
So there's no gasoline smell.
Okay.
It's on the floor.
Yeah.
So-
So I mean,
Anyway, so I understand what you're saying.
So I went through the whole car. I mean, basically, it wasn't to the point to where I needed to scrub carpets, which was nice. Everything was pretty straightforward, the vacuum. But compressed air was absolutely necessary because the panel gaps on those Forerunners, especially on the dash, they're how do I say this? They're large enough to where a lot of dust can get in, but they're still tight enough to where brushes can't pull them out. And so I had to use compressed air on pretty much the whole center console, all of the dash, in between where the and this is what I hate. I hate this when you have where your seat sits between where your scuff plates are. That carpet that goes along between the seats was so tight that you can't get in there with a crevice tool on a vacuum. So all of that was being blown out, and I had to keep going back over and over and over that again. Clean the mats, but I wish I would have gotten her from the get-go some WeatherTech full liners, not just it comes with good mats, but her feet somehow miraculously go.
They move them around,
and I'm sitting there. What are you doing? Are you shuffling?
She just drives like
Are
this.
you shuffling while you're driving? Like what's your plan? So going through the whole car, pulled that out, sprayed some nice clean smelling things inside there to where it smells really good. I used a really cool interior system that I really like and got that all cleaned up and dressed, and it looked brand new. As funny as it was, she walks out and she's like, wow, looks like a brand new car. And I sit there, I'm trying to hold my tongue. I'm like, it is a brand new car. It's got 4,000 miles on it, and it looks like it's got 30,000 miles on it after only several months of driving. But I'm not going to say that. Katie, if you're listening to this, I love you.
Yep, that's all.
If you want those wedding invites to still be valid in time for...
So I did that, but then the rest of the day, I was just kind of planning out a lot of things I'm wanting to do. On the Civic, and I have so I ordered in some matte vinyl that I'm going to be redoing my door seals where the window comes. There's that rubber trim there.
Yep.
So I want to redo that in some matte vinyl. I want to attempt. I've never done this before. I want to polish out the headlights to perfection, wet sand them, do all of that. And then I want to actually see how long, if I were to PPF those headlights, how long that would last in terms of the sun exposure before that begins to yellow or before it begins to deteriorate. Doing my own test, I want to see how that holds up, because everybody knows when you refinish a headlight, the right way to do it is to sand them out and then respray them with 2K clear, or a clear that's going to hold up and replace that UV resistance, or there's other headlight sprayable coatings out there that are clear coat. The other idea is that you can put a headlight coating on there. You can see how long that lasts for. But I'm thinking PPF might be the best option in terms of...
like some of the, like XPEL Ultimate has UV protection and is warranted for up to 10 years.
Yeah. So I really want to try that out for myself. So I want to try that out here soon to see how I can do that. But then you saw that last week. I met with a guy named Eric over at Car Medic who does PDR. Now, I never thought I would say I would be getting PDR done on the Civic. That's ridiculous.
Your $1,500
my $1,500 Civic. But I thought about it, and I have some really cool plans. Once I get that door repainted, I want to get a new bumper on there. And I was telling Levi this. If I can get a lot of those death dings, those hate dings, those ones where people open up their door without a care in the world.
Well, no, it's not. Sometimes it's not them.
Or somebody's
it's their
kid.
Children.
Yeah.
I've had to teach my children to watch how they open their doors, because they went from a minivan.
I was to say, minivans have
where the
sliding
doors
doors
slide,
for a reason.
And I think we have a generation of children who have not experienced
Because it's all SUVs
sedans.
now.
Yeah.
It is, because because there's just a couple in the car, and everybody, I'm sure if you're a car guy listening to this, you might have that imperfection on your car where you're okay with the other small things, but when you're walking up and you see the way that gloss hits and
that one,
and you see that one thing right in the middle of a panel or whatever it is, a chip, a ding, where you're like, wow, I just wish that wasn't there.
Well, like your car, we were talking about how straight the Volvo was as we were polishing it.
Yeah, how straight the body is.
And how great it was. And then literally the week after we got that car done and polished, what happened?
Well, I hadn't noticed it until I brought it to work one day, and the light hit it just right. And on the driver's side door, there's just a little, right along kind of the trim line there, just a little ding,
but
just in the wrong spot.
That
it's a death ding.
It's on a fold. It's on a panel fold.
Yeah.
So there's a hard line. There's a ding and then a hard line that you can see. from the structural bracing
and
inside.
And you can't get that from the backside, I don't think, because it's on that weld on that crease.
And I
which is
hate the idea of throwing filler in there and then just going over.
Yeah,
Like, I
and
don't.
So
I'll
think,
just leave it. Honestly,
I think
I
PDR
have
is
to leave
freaking
it.
amazing.
Oh, it's magic.
I would
Those
love,
guys are wizards.
I would love to learn how to do that without having to actually take the time to learn how to. Like, I wish I can get like a crash course in it and say, here's a couple
You're
tools
done.
to do it
Well,
all.
got it.
Next time we're at MTE, let's go take a closer look at the stuff those guys are doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
great idea.
anyway, so I'm gonna have that plan for this week. So I'll probably meet up with Eric at some point and have him work his magic and get a couple of the dings out. And then once I replace my rear bumper, which has some huge paint chunks missing out of it, and get my door repainted and get that fixed, I think I'll have a pretty
You'll
clean.
have a brand new Civic.
I think I'll have a brand new Civic from 1999.
There's a
Nice.
lot of people online who are already jealous of your Civic, so it's just
Well,
gonna take it that.
it's-
The funny
extra
thing
step.
is, you haven't done that much.
no.
And there
No.
are
But it's-
detailers out there
it
that are
goes to
listening
show.
that know exactly what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, people, if they
It's-
don't understand what we can do to a car to
Yeah.
make it that much better. And
No, they think it's toast.
most
it's
of the
toast.
time, like I have a buddy that was just here today. I was walking him through.
Yeah.
He's got a little black S10 Extreme Blazer 2-door,
Mhm.
right? 2-wheel drive with a 5-speed V6. Excuse me. And his is filthy.
yeah.
Mhm.
And he called it his pile. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is my little beater. And I'm like, that thing would actually look pretty awesome.
It's got the extreme kit, all that fairings and stuff.
Well, he took all that off.
Oh,
And he put stock car wheels on it, like
Yeah.
Daytonas.
what?
And and it looks, and some wide tires. It looks actually really cool. And I was like,
I was imagining
Man,
he
if
bought an
you-
extreme and then made it look regular.
no, it's just he took the body kit off of
Okay.
it. But I was like, you lower that, you polish it up, you repaint, you rattle can some of these back panels
Yeah.
to fix the trim.
Mm.
This thing could be pretty dope. You put a new grill in it, and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
And the detailing would be 90% of it,
Yeah.
because as it sits now, it looks like it hasn't been washed in 2
Sure.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's just the little things like that. Like, you
it's-
get messages from folks that are like, love your build, so inspired by it, and they take a picture of their car, and it's like, maybe take it to the car wash first.
yeah.
So start,
Yeah.
guys.
Get started
well,
on that.
it's,
You know,
it's
and
just-
our audience, for the most part, knows that.
Well,
Detailers
it's-
know that,
It's
yeah.
funny because like that's the thing. I mean, you can have a ton of imperfections on a car, but still have it look good and still
Yeah.
have it be shiny.
Still
like
shiny and
like
nice.
cars covered in scratches. I
Oh.
have scratches everywhere.
well, like my little red truck.
Yeah.
I cleaned that up. It's beat. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got some dents and dings, and the kid didn't care about it. But
But it's got a heart of gold.
I polished it up and cleaned it up. That was the first thing I did on it. And people were like, "That's a neat little truck. You paid $700 for."
Well,
Well, it's still pretty rough, but it looks shiny. and
when I
nice.
posted that picture of the Civic in the Obsessed Garage group, everybody says, "Oh, it looks like you got a respray."
yeah,
That's literally just the magic of polishing. Is that when you take a color, red's really great. Red, I mean, as you know,
It
red is
shows.
awesome, and you can really transform red. Same thing with black, though. There's a lot of colors you can transform, but simply polishing that car changed the color. It made it to where the sun bounces off it, to where it reflects more light. It's more
Yeah.
glossy. It has more depth to it. But sure as hell is, if I walk up to it, I can start pointing out scratches here, 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 here,
Well,
here,
and that was
here.
like my wife noticed, like when we bought her Camry. That was like one
Yeah.
of her first words after like the second week of owning it. She was like, when I park it in the garage, it just doesn't look, for it being red. She went from two black minivans
Mhm.
to a red Camry.
Yeah.
She was like, it doesn't look as nice. Like, why doesn't it look good?
Mhm.
Like, it just doesn't, even though it's a very bright metallic red, a very pretty color. She's like, it just doesn't look. And I said, well, it's because I haven't detailed. I haven't polished it. I haven't
Yeah.
coated it. I haven't done all the things that I did to the black vans
Yeah.
to make them look that way.
It's kind of like a cherry
know?
because it's like dark but bright at the same time.
It's Barcelona red.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you're wondering.
So it's just, yeah. So I think it's the little things that tend to just add up, and it really comes down to using good products,
Mhm.
using good towels. And it was funny because I was on Instagram and I was watching this guy. I follow one of his builds on his Evo, and he has a really clean Evo. Probably spent maybe 20 grand on this paint job, right? White, it's beautiful colored, and he's like, oh, time to clean it up. And in all of his pictures and videos, he's wiping it down with the rattiest microfiber towel I've ever seen, right? But he's just dry wiping.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to reach out to him. I'm going to say, hey, this is what you should do. And I send him a whole message saying, hey, I noticed what you're doing. I just want to help you out, man. Here you go. You spent a lot of money on this paint job. And he said, I honestly had no idea that this was even a thing. I thought this microfiber was just, I thought microfiber was like Alcantara. Like there's just,
well, it is.
it's just, well, but you know what I mean?
That's
it's just,
one of many.
That it's just like this microfiber is he really thought that microfiber was a brand. Like he thought that was like, oh, it's a microfiber towel. Microfiber is all microfiber, and it's all made by the same people that make microfiber.
Right. Yeah.
And I laid it out and I said, hey man, microfiber is not created equal. You know, there's different types out there. And I kind of explained it like, it's like knockoff parts for cars, you know, that, they may look the same, right? They may
but like
be buying your car parts you
could
could buy your car parts at Walmart
yeah,
if you want.
it's totally that realm. And he's like, I had no idea, you know, where should I even start? And I said, well, first off, that towel looks like it has been through hell and back. And he's like, that's just the towel I used to dust off the car. And I'm like,
gross.
Even worse. That's you should be using a nice towel for especially if you're gonna be dry wiping and dusting like that. So I gave him a whole spiel on Eagles and our gold pack and why he should pick that up to help him get into everything. And it is funny as nice as nice cars as there are, and how much money people spend on mods and paint and things like that. They don't know what to do afterwards, and they think that they're doing things right, but they just don't know. And it's hard to educate everybody unless they want to learn. So.
Yeah, and that is also the biggest thing. Like I had a friend, Carly, her friend, she went on a bike ride. Her friend's like, hey, can you help me put my bike back in the car? And so I'm helping, me and Carly are helping her put the bike in, and I noticed her husband he's got a black Ford Flex or Edge, Ford Edge.
Oh, I was going to think it was cool for a second there.
But it's the Sport, so it looks like a big black egg with big wheels on it. And I looked inside, and Carly's like, hey, look, Levi, look at those towels. And I was like, you need to tell your husband that he needs to get on the towel game because he's rocking some subpar towels. And Carly goes, I know, because those have tags that they're garbage. And we all started laughing, and she's like, oh my God, like our friend, she was like, I'm totally going to have to tell him that you were bagging on his towels. And I said, well, it's cool. I mean, he obviously doesn't like absorbing water with them, so he must be using them to wipe the floors or something. But they were 85-15s. You could see it right on the label. And they were just some lime green towels that he bought from the parts store. Yeah. And I was like, tell him if he wants to get on the real towel game, he knows where to find me. But it's just, he keeps his car really nice, and he has 2 black cars, and he takes them and washes them and does all this stuff. But it's still something where I'm like, wow, really?
And there's so many folks out there who do. They think all that stuff's the same, and so it doesn't really matter what I get anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just a simple adjustment. I mean, it's literally, and I'm not even saying, guys, you got to go buy your towels for the rag company. I'm just saying that there's plenty of other people that
manufacturers that make great
there
towels.
There are quality brands you can trust.
High quality towels, but it's also kind of like a common sense thing where they take this guy taking the same towel that he's used over and over and over and over again for dry wiping, and it was just really nasty and really crusty. In his head, he's like, this is just the towel I use for that, and I don't use it for anything else, and that means I'm doing good because I don't use it for cleaning my wheels. I use it just for dry dusting, right?
Yeah, right.
Dry dusting.
Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, in your head, yes, that it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. But when I lay it out, it's almost like it's like that light bulb moment. Like, I should probably wash this towel after I dry dust if I'm going to be dry dusting. I should probably have a towel that has a little bit more pile to it. This towel was pileless. It was one of the cheaper,
very, very flat style Terry.
Yeah, it has the tag on it. But he was, wiping away from the tag, and so I don't know. It's simple.
Well, and that also boils down to so if you guys are looking and you're watching the YouTube video, you can see we got some products here on our table. Our friends that you guys have heard us mention, Auto Wash Colorado. They are a car wash chain as well as a detail shop owned by our friends, the Driesens. They're a wonderful couple and a very smart couple. One thing that Dennis was talking about is one of his biggest things is he never knew about detailing. He didn't know about car washing. He didn't know about this stuff 10 years ago. So one thing was when he did open car washes, he started learning how to clean his car. Then he started learning about detailing and learning how to take care of his vehicles. So one of the things that they have done, because they have so many car washes now and the detail shop, they've decided to start creating their own car wash chemicals as well as detailing supplies. And one product that they have, or one method of selling these products is what they're going to be calling their Auto Wash Direct. And so they sent us some red vines,
Thank you guys.
which we have completely
been,
annihilated
eating
1.5
those.
boxes of,
Man.
the 4 of us.
It took like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You guys were already into the first box by.
I don't
And
know
then
what
they
you're
sent
talking
us
about.
just a couple products that they have been playing with and working on. One to just have us play with them and enjoy them and see what we can do. But one is a full headlight kit.
Yeah.
for
I'm
Illuminate.
curious to see that.
Yeah.
one.
Can we actually
So
open
go
this
ahead and
up?
open it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so part of
So
the
cool.
Auto Wash Direct
Cool
lineup.
packaging. I want to point it out that
Yeah.
it's a Ziploc seal, but it's got the actual seal up top that
Yeah,
you
it's
have to
got a
rip
tear.
open.
Yeah. So one of the things the theory is that they would love to be able to create this line of products that you could sell, that folks could buy and sell and have kind of like the old school Tupperware parties or
Oh, okay.
kind of deal, but focus them on detailing. And you'd be able to get products that you could use at home to do certain things. And so they're kind of building these kits to create that ability. So you could buy those things, you could learn, and you could do that. So everything is very hopefully easy to use.
So you got a 10% coupon code there,
and that's to
then-
their
Nice touch.
and if you guys want to check it out, their website's autowashdirect.com. You can go on there and check it out. But yeah, this is the headlight kit. They have this is a neat item I have never seen before, which is a stain stick ink remover. So for those hard to get stains that are ink, I've never
So
tried to remove that.
in
so
this
that's pretty
kit, right? I'm gonna go through it. So you got your IPA wipe.
Yeah.
Looks like just a normal wipe. A scrub pad here.
Cool. Oh yeah, a little
Actually,
more abrasive one
yeah,
for
so
that.
scuffer.
It feels like
Yeah.
a nice little scrub pad.
Clean the glass.
And then we
Or the
have
pad.
a
2 different grades
more aggressive
for headlights. This is a headlight kit.
Yep.
So
Are these like steel wool
n-
alternatives?
no,
or-
they're like scuff. They're like Scotch.
Oh, okay, it is.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
we
like
have another
Scotch.
alcohol wipe in there. And then
It's kinda rough.
Well, and I'm sure these aren't for like heavily damaged headlights, but for the normal daily driver that
Sure.
needs a little quick.
Just a little yellow.
so you
brightener.
have your cleansing cream right here, step 1. And then you have your clear coat protective spray,
Okay.
which being your step 2. So pretty cool. I mean, and
Yeah.
this is different from what I've seen from other headlight kits. So other headlight kits will give you, I think like Turtle Wax has one where they
Yeah.
actually give
The
you
little sanding discs?
little
Yeah.
sanding blocks, which I actually I've used it before, and actually I've always really liked those little sanding blocks
Yeah.
because they do different grades on each side.
I used that on my
This is-
SVX before I sold it, and it helped.
This is but this is a cool little kit. I like their take on that. I like these little scuff pads instead. These feel really nice.
Yeah. And then they gave us a glass coating as well for
Mhm.
windshields, and
Yeah.
then some leather. Their leather protectant, which is leather cleaner and conditioner in one, so it actually does both.
Well,
Yeah.
what I liked
which is
about this
kinda
is they said it's just basically this is just a combination of
Lanolin and beeswax.
beeswax and lanolin, and so
Probably smells
Um,
decent, right?
it does. Yeah, so
Yeah, it
has
smells
a nice,
good.
nice little leather scent to it.
Curious.
Well, and we really like these guys, and like I
they're
said, this
very,
is
very
they
cool
do
people.
just so you guys know, they do sell our towels, and if you go to any of the car auto wash locations, they do have a
vending machine.
They have
right?
vending
Yeah.
machines that they package our towels in, and you can buy towels from us from their vending machines at their locations.
It's not your average car wash by any
As-
means.
No, it's a great setup, and they're just really fun. One of the things, check out their Instagram, Auto Wash Colorado or Auto Wash CO.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of different locations, 9 locations in the Denver
Yeah,
area.
it's something crazy.
They're looking to have 25 by the end of the year, I think, or some crazy number.
Well, and like the
Uh,
detail shops, they got training from IDA folks. Like
Yeah,
Prentice.
and their detail shop's fully IDA. They're members of the IDA, and then they also do PDR
yeah.
training out of
That's
that
cool.
facility as well. They have a
Yeah.
very large detail shop, and so they're really cool company. We really like them. They're good friends of ours as well as customers of ours. So they said, hey, they actually
Yeah.
heard customers come in and tell them we heard about the car wash on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
That's
they were
funny.
like, we didn't even know you guys were talking about
But
us on the podcast.
they don't even
So-
ask us to do this stuff.
No.
It's just like we like it and we want to,
Yeah. Well, and they
give a
they
shout.
literally sent us this box right
Yeah.
before we got on the podcast, and then there's red vines. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so thank you guys to Auto Wash.
Yeah.
Again, you can check out autowashdirect.com and look at some of their stuff.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to talk about detailing stories. We had a
Yes.
friend from the last 2 lives, YouTube lives,
He's been asking.
has been asking our favorite detailing stories.
Crazy,
funniest, craziest.
zany, whatever.
Me being in it the longest, I have a lot.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you can fill a whole podcast.
I could probably write a book on stories. So
Yeah.
not only from my years managing a car wash,
Yeah.
I literally had, in the car wash, I had 2 fellas that were working there. They were probably 4 years apart. One was the stepfather. One was the stepson.
Ooh.
Oh, weird.
Ooh, that's.
And
Ooh.
the 3 of them all lived together in the stepson's trailer house.
Oh, okay.
That's a fun arrangement.
Let's just say a few of them were missing some teeth.
Okay.
But the stories that we would hear are not applicable for the podcast. But
Noted.
it was crazy, I will say.
He'll tell you in person if you see him
yeah.
at a show.
It was crazy. I've had employees that have misused a rotary and caught themselves in their hoodies,
Yeah.
like caught the rotary into their hoodies and had the hoodie like pull them down into a crouching position because it's
Yeah.
wrapped up so
Yep.
much. I've had them hit antennas on cars
Oh, I've heard about the
and
whip.
get a full Joker smile with,
Yeah.
with a whip mark across their cheek
Yikes.
from the antenna.
Yeah.
I've had
I crack up every time I hear
antenna.
you say antenna.
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 I had
Hannah,
sales
Montana.
on
So
them
I had
antennas.
so the owner of the company that I worked for brought his dogs to work one day.
Okay.
We had a new guy sitting there in the car. He wasn't a very smart guy, to the point that he ran his car out of oil and blew the motor
Wow.
because he dumped all the oil out from the release, but then forgot to put the bolt back in.
Oh.
When he put oil back in it.
So wait, he's intelligent enough to know what to do to
No.
start an oil change, but then
Yeah.
he just
Yes.
he doesn't know how
Yeah.
to complete.
So he literally said, like, I changed my oil yesterday, and then drove his car to work and blew his engine up when he got there.
Yeah, it's
To
not a
work.
change if you don't put something else.
But he
in.
made it to work.
He
and
made
that's
it
impressive.
to work before he sees the block. And when
Wow.
we checked, it was bone dry.
What kind of car was it?
It was like a Dodge Neon. But
Okay, I'm impressed it made it that far then.
So, and that's how smart he was. He got in a car that was finished, and literally, I got in front of the car and said, "Stop and wait a second."
Mm-hmm.
And I was yelling at him to wait as he kept moving forward. I had to get out of the way, and then he ran over one of the owner's dogs.
Oh,
no.
Because we were still working on the car. He just got in it to
Oh,
pull it out.
No.
And we were like, wait, we're not done. Like, one of the guys was down, like, hand in the wheel,
Are you
working
kidding
on
me?
it. He hopped in the car. Like, he just hopped in, pulled, and was going to pull it, and went. And, like, I remember Matt, like, jumping back, like,
Yeah.
because he had his hands in the wheels.
Whoa.
Like, guy was, we fired him like that.
Yeah,
second.
imagine
like, as soon as
having
he
your
pulled,
hand
like,
between the
dog was
spokes and-
okay.
Oh, thank God.
Dog was okay.
Was
Yeah.
it a bigger dog?
It was a
then, or-
bigger dog,
Okay.
and the car
'Cause
was
a little
s-
dog
The
wouldn't have
car was a small car,
fared very
Yeah.
well.
but it was just the fact that he literally ran over the.
Wait,
like,
was this still the neon?
no, it was
oh,
it was
okay,
a smaller
different.
car like that,
Okay.
but it was a car we were detailing for a dealership.
Oh, okay.
And then the time that Matt on one of our detox literally stuck his hand under a seat and came
Yes.
back with a syringe stuck in his hand,
Yeah.
and then got Rocky Mountain fever.
Here's like the
Yeah.
only
one of,
case,
one of
right?
the only cases in Idaho to get Rocky Mountain in the U.S. One of the only cases in the U.S. to get Rocky Mountain spotted fever. After that, I found repossessions where they had made the whole floor of a brand new minivan out of Little Caesars pizza boxes
Gross.
as their own. I mean, you could do that with Katie's car.
Yeah.
You don't even need to go get WeatherTech mats. Just use
Pizza boxes.
pizza boxes.
That's how I
from
feel
Little
when
Caesars.
people use really cheap towels. I don't need those fancy towels. I'm just gonna use
Yeah.
this paper towel
Yeah.
I found in a
I've had
truck stop bathroom.
I've had no.
Okay, bud.
I've had people. I found cars that repossessions. One, the person's car was full of backpacks full of underwear, ladies' underwear.
Oh no.
But
As a collector of
no,
sorts.
I'm serious. It was like 6 backpacks and duffel bags.
Were they used?
Full.
Did they arrest the
Was
owner
it
on
used
site?
or new
It wasn't
underwear?
new. They
Under
were used and had
suspicion
been
of-
washed. It wasn't like as far as I know, it didn't look dirty.
Oh,
All
boy.
I'm saying is there was 6 duffel bags and backpacks full of underwear. That's all those bags were. We would open the bag and go, "What? This is all."
One would be a red flag.
This is
6,
all-
you might have a serial killer.
This is all underwear. Like, it was weird. And these are repoed cars, right?
Oh,
That
no.
person actually came and picked up their car. It was a girl, and
Oh,
she was
no.
literally getting her bags of. And I was like, "So you left your underwear? How much underwear do you own?"
Why
Because that
so
was 6
many?
bags full.
Like-
So I don't know if it was a business or what, but you don't ask those questions.
No, you're just like,
Face.
okay. All right.
Then
Yes.
I had a customer, or didn't have a customer, had another repossession that literally had all their junk mail, right? So they get their junk mail, they put it on the floor. what they do is they just take their floor mat and set it on top of all the junk mail.
Yeah.
And they continued that way
Oh.
until it was level with the seats in 3 of the seating positions.
And then they tried to sue Toyota when their accelerator stuck.
Basically. Yeah. So you lift off
God.
the floor mat, and it's just a mass of paper. But it had been compacted so long from
Were they,
them
like,
taking
fusing
friends.
together?
No, yeah, they'd taken friends and soda and coffee, and they had candles and like the little wax Scentsy scents, the little wax.
Yeah,
They'd been putting those in their car to make the car smell better. But those had like bonded and helped mold these massive floor mats made out of
Does it smell
junk
like
mail.
mothball-y or?
No, it was a pina colada and pineapple and stuff.
No,
like
I was
that.
just imagining like the paper getting old smells.
Oh,
kind
I'm
of,
sure
like,
it was pretty gross.
distinct.
But I just
Yeah.
remember literally lifting one whole panel that looked like a thing. Anyway, that was my.
And if you find one, there's sure to be more.
Yeah, dead squirrels in the back of cars, things like that.
Like they got in there
mice.
and couldn't get out, or the person put it in there.
I don't know, either or. Some old classics that are barn finds, like you find stuff like that. But
That makes sense. Yeah.
things like that.
Like
So that's
birds
me.
stuck in a grill. Or,
Yeah. I've had some. It's been weird.
Sure.
Yeah.
Find movies of ill repute under the
Naturally.
in people's cars as well,
Sure.
because that's where you put them. I
Yeah.
guess. So anyway, Dane, do you have anything fun?
As far as detailing stories, nothing too crazy, because as you all know, I'm not much of a detailer myself. I rely on these two. I just pick up the info through osmosis. But no, nothing too crazy. I just know what I've heard from you guys, and there is so much more that you're not saying right now that makes sense, because it's more of a in-person kind of conversation, because they get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See me at an event and ask me, and I will
Yes.
tell you in person.
Now,
Some of
before
these are pretty
Anthony
crazy.
goes, I'm curious, Morgan, in your short time of like detailing as someone who's detailing now, have you run into anything weird, or has it mostly just been through friends' cars and you kind of knew what you were
Yeah,
getting
it's
into?
mostly just like friends' cars, and none of them were really
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would
nice
judge
of
them
it.
heavily
Yeah.
if you found some shiz.
She
Yeah.
was like, "Why are there 6 duffel bags of underwear
Women's
in your
underwear in
car?
here.
Yeah.
What are you
Noted.
not telling me?"
Nothing not cool.
Yeah, raises some eyebrows.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be honest, I mean, I'm almost in the same boat, because everything I've done has been very specific. The cars I'll do. Because if it was randos cars, or if it was repossessions and things like, I'm sure I'd find some pretty crazy stuff. I'd probably say one of the, not even that was that crazy, but one of the most disgusting details was actually on my own Honda Civic when I got it. when I got that thing, it was absolutely covered in dog hair, to the point to where it had been.
You didn't
sitting,
have carpet; you had dog hair.
yeah, there was so much that it was absolutely.
tell the
I had to
difference.
take the whole interior out of the car, and like I said, it was so bad that smell still kind of comes back every once in a while, and it. I mean, I think the sick part of the whole thing was the fact that that dog hair must have been in there for years and years and years, because of where it had been. It was so old. It wasn't like that was a dog. A dog did that in 2 months. It was a dog that did that over the course of maybe 7-8 years or something like that. And the only thing I can think in my head was, is this a dead dog's hair? Is that dog dead now? Am I cleaning out this
While you're
old
cleaning,
hair?
you're
The
thinking
dog was
about
not
the
dead
dog
while it
that
was in there, but
No,
you can
possibly
assume at this
lived in
point-
that
But I'm
vehicle.
sitting here, I'm like, this has been here for so long that dog has probably died by now, and I'm cleaning up its hair. It's white, straight hair that sews into every carpet and every little piece of the car. So
I have a Pyrenees, believe me, I know.
So I mean, there's been that, but then also, I mean, I think some of our craziest stories really have just been me and Dane on the road. I mean, doing some of these things like.
And those are so much fun.
I think
Yeah, our road
I-
stories are
I think
blast.
one thing that people don't realize still, after this is more relevant than ever, that Tavarish video that we released, we went into that with such minimal stuff.
Oh yeah, people are like, "Oh, you should have done this to remove
We
that
went
tape.
we
Why did
went
it take
into
so
that
long? You're
with
lazy."
literally 3 usable pads. 3.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
would
think
go
I
into
think
a
we had
job
I
like
think we had a
that.
fourth that the backing was already ripping off of, and
That's right. One
And-
had the peel
yeah,
off.
we had nothing, and we had I'll just say it on this. We had pretty much the same towel for everything. We
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
the Eagle 350s for every single part of that video,
that's
because
all we
that's what we
had.
had.
And like 1 or 2 Terrys.
And we had a couple Terrys, and that was pretty much it. And then outside of that, we did that detail with literally nothing, and we still made it look
Spit
amazing.
and gumption.
Well,
Yeah.
and here's the other thing. A lot of people, because you're not seeing it in the context of how it happened, when it happened, but if you watch the Adam LZ video and then watch that, and just understand there's hours of time in between the beginning and end of those, and realize that those happen one day before the other.
Right.
So there was no
Not
real
even,
time.
Not even a day,
No.
Dane. 6 hours.
Yeah, because
between each one.
we got home at like 2 a.m. after the Adam LZ one.
Yeah, back up at 8 a.m.
And when I say home, I mean back to like an Airbnb where we had a moment to catch our breath and then sleep for a couple hours, and then had to go to the show in the morning to drop you guys off. And then we went to go meet Tavares for the first time, Freddie, and then shoot a video with him. So it was basically
and
not
then,
much time
and
to
then
relax.
that Tavares video went until 1 a.m. after we were all said and done on our way home.
Got to go to his lovely home and unload the footage, because some people were like, I feel like I've seen this video before. And it's like, well, yeah, because I gave him my footage so he could use it.
Yeah. And that night, and then that night when I got home, Dane knows this. I walked upstairs.
Oh, and you were sick.
Yep.
I walked upstairs.
Yeah, you
I
were
was sick.
deathly ill the entire time.
Dane was like, "Oh, are you gonna take some medicine when you get home?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna take any medicine when I get home because I have another plan." I walk upstairs. I walk straight to the fridge.
Yep.
I open up the fridge. I crack open. What was it? They were the C brand, the yellow.
Oh, Pacificos.
Sorry,
I
P.
bought
Yeah.
I bought some Mexican beer.
I cracked open one Pacifico right in front of me, standing at the fridge. I just pounded the whole thing.
Yep.
And then I grabbed another one. I said, "All right, Dan, I'm going to bed."
And you're like, this is my bed.
I literally drank those 2 beers out. And I was like, I'm not taking any cold medicine. This is how I'm sleeping because this is the kind of day I've had.
Yeah.
Well, and you were sick, so that was just
He
insult
was
to
sick
injury.
and sharing a room with me, and he was talking in his sleep.
Yeah.
But that's how
Every
you knew
night.
you weren't sleeping well, is because
Yeah.
you're talking in your
He
sleep.
was awake. the
I
whole
was
time.
yeah. It was one of those things. So that's about as crazy as I'll
Yeah.
get over here.
Our
so.
road stories are probably the best, especially when you guys have to detail and do work.
And like when it happens, you're exhausted and oftentimes kind of miserable, but you just know down the road you're going to appreciate having those
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
And it makes for a
well,
fun
and they're fun and
thing to look
like
back on.
it's a fun event for all of us to be able to do that. Even
Yeah.
though Jeff and I are usually doing something else during Mobile Tech.
Well, yeah,
or
we
like,
kind of abandoned you.
or like when we were
guys.
when we were back east at Phil's and you guys were working on
Yeah.
what's his name?
Rob Ferretti's.
Yeah.
Ferretti's stuff. Like it was still fun.
Yeah.
Because you guys, that's where we meet fun people like Marco, and that's where
Yeah.
you guys get these stories, and
Yeah.
you get to try and do this stuff, and you go do the podcast, and it adds to the event and the
Mhm.
experience of why we do what we do. And even though it may suck and the days are really hard, it's fun to go, guys, this is what we are doing for a job. Like, in
Oh,
a
and there's
weird way,
plenty
like,
of people who are
this is
just
work.
envious of the things you get to do, but the reality is it is hard work.
Yeah.
But at the same
In the
time,
moment, it's not fun.
I'm not arguing. It is
Yeah.
fun in retrospect, and it is really cool we get to do these things, and we're never like, got our nose up in the air like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're better than
No,
someone else
it's-
because we get to do these
The
things.
reason we record what we do is because we have the capability to bring you guys in on it. Because for us, it's so fun. We want to share it with everybody, and we want to bring those that
Yeah.
maybe can't afford to go to Mobile Tech or can't afford to do that stuff can kind of see it through our eyes. And
But
we
we're
hope
not-
that's what you guys.
We're not different or more special than
No.
anyone else who doesn't get to do these things. The reality is we just make it happen through sheer force of will and a lot of luck.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
lot of luck.
We
It's
we kind of try
half
and
the
get
stuff we
things,
don't
the
have
ball
booked.
rolling.
fully until we're
No.
there.
Like, okay, for one thing, when we were going to work on Freddie's car, the Bentley wasn't the car we were originally going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
We were originally going to do his Mercedes S600, his daily driver, which is a silver car. May not have played as well in a video. I don't know. Some people, it would have been a good, polished, clean.
But it was a
correction,
good
whatever.
challenge to pop up right then.
Right.
And there.
But then the transmission failed on it like a couple days before we were supposed to get there and shoot. And I was like, oh boy, now what? And that's when he threw out the idea of the Bentley. And of course, the Bentley, only half the engine runs. So it's a W12, only 6 cylinders are working. And it's kind of, So a lot of people are like, why'd you get it detailed before you, do the engine swap or whatever? And it's like, well, that's when we're here. That's when we can do it. And
Yeah.
we made it happen. And he was stoked. Like, I will happily work with Freddie and Andrew again. Those guys are awesome. We're definitely going to go back and do
Yeah.
more stuff with them because they were super cool. But,
Yeah.
yeah, all in all, great experiences, just exhausting. And
Yeah.
hopefully next time we go back, you're not deathly ill.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool,
All right,
cool,
guys.
Dane. Well, take it away.
All right, fellas. Well, and lady. Yeah, so that's it. if you guys can follow us or subscribe on Spotify, I'd really appreciate that. I'm really trying to build up the Spotify audience, so you don't have to pay for Spotify to be able to use it. They have the free version too. So just go find
free.
the podcast on there and just go click follow.
It was faux free.
That's right. And if you know someone who could also use this info, pass it along. Otherwise, if you're on iTunes, leave us a review and a rating. We really appreciate that. It gets us out in front of more people. Super awesome. And if you're on our podcast channel, either our YouTube channel podcast or our regular YouTube channel with the videos, make sure you're subscribed to both. I know a lot of people watch these things, but they're not necessarily subscribed. So I'm just asking for that. If you could do that, it takes 2 seconds. Just go click it. Helps us out. And if you don't want to help us out, well, I hope you keep listening anyway. And on that note, thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you later.
See ya.